This is my first video. I'm gonna quickly go over digitizing, maybe show an example. I don't know, kind of just freeballing this. I plan to make scripts for future videos, but there's just so much that goes into digitizing that it's hard for me to plan out everything. So kind of want to just see how it goes in this video and plan my tutorials from here. So alright, so digitizing is basically the process of turning an image into an embroidery file, into an embroidery design. I'm pretty sure this is just, but this is what the embroidery would look like. And with digitizing softwares, you could customize the stitches, you could customize the colors, and you basically need to trace the design with the tools given and make an embroidery design. So there are two main types of stitches: the fill stitch and outline stitch. It's pretty self-explanatory, but fill stitches are basically the biggest layer, and it usually embroiders first non-stop, so from start to finish, and that would be one object. And outline stitches are the outline. If you want thicker outline, there are many different types of stitches. If you want thicker outline, you'd use satin outline, which is used here. I'll show you an example. Oops, let's change the color. Boom, that's the same stitch right there. And but the most commonly used are the satin stitch, run stitch, and tatami fill stitch. Pretty sure this is a run stitch, so it's just a single stitch. Wait, is it called, what's it called? It should be called single stitch. Oh, run stitch. These are the different types of tools. The object allows you to click on the different types of objects, and you'd select. It's kind of like Photoshop. It's just basically like Photoshop. It gives you different types of tools, and it all has its own uses. So, for example, this one is digitizing the open shape, and open shape is an outline stitch. Example, boom, that's an outline right there. Satin outline too. If you want a thinner outline, you go for a run outline, run stitch. And let's see, this one is digitizing closed shapes, which is for tatami fills and other types of fills, whatever fill you want. So let's do the same thing as the embroidery. You wanna click right at the border of the design. Doesn't have to be accurate, because I usually like right after I'm done digitizing, I usually make it cleaner. So oops, I accidentally made an outline stitch. If you accidentally make an outline stitch, since you used the closed shape tool, it's a closed shape, so you can just select the object and change it to tatami fill stitch, as you can see, and change the color. This one here, you're allowed to change the color, and then by clicking reshape tool, you can reshape the object, customize the object, customize the fill stitch. Let's see, that one looks like that one looks like sort of like that. Yeah. Anyways, another thing to consider is the layering. So when you're digitizing this, for example, you don't want to start off with digitizing the eye first. Let me quickly digitize the eye. You have to kind of think of it as like you're layering. So the correct way to do it is what I did just now. You digitize the base layer first and then embroider the eye over the base layer. But if you digitize the eye first and embroider the face second, it just doesn't look right, and it's not proper sequencing. I mean, you can make it exact, but it's it's just not right. Don't do it. It's much better to layer it correctly, because it'll also, I don't know, if you embroider, you can see the different outcome. You can also just tell from here. If I want to use a satin fill stitch, so a satin stitch can also be a fill stitch. For example, if I want to turn this into a satin stitch, I will do that. Oops. Or I can just switch it to a fill shape, reshape it to change the angle of it, and then recolor it. So what this is basically the connector. Right now I'm automatically set as run connector, and after each color you want to change it to jump, or your embroidery software should automatically already have it set to jump. I shouldn't have said that. Just always keep it in jump. From now on I'll keep mine in jump, but because there's like a whole another video I can make about connectors. But yeah, that's basically it for digitizing. And the outline, alright, this one, if you want a satin outline, you'd use column C, and you can customize the width of the satin stitch. But here we'll just go over where you want to outline it. Press enter once, and then you can enter the width by clicking on one side and then clicking on this side, and it'll automatically measure that width, and boom, it's basically like halfway done. So as you can see, there are a lot of outlines, and you need to do it in order, like I said earlier, because like you'd want to get this outline done first before you do this outline, so this outline can overlap on this one. If you see the back part overlapping on the front part of the nose outline, just looks off. So that's something to consider when you're digitizing. Here's an example. Let me just do it. I'll just do it again. So you can select your color first, and then select your stitch type you want. This biggest layer would be fill stitch, of course, tatami fill stitch. Use the closed shape tool, and right click is for curved lines. So right now I'm right clicking, and then left click is for straight lines. So if I left click here, it's gonna be straight, and we don't want that. Since it's curved here, since it's cornered here, you want to do left, but since it's curved here, you want to do right, 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 left, since it's a corner. Right click, right click, right click, left click, right click, enter, enter, boom. And You customize by selecting the reshape tool, and you can change the angle, and you can change the start and end point of the fill stitch. And say you want to add an outline, a black outline, let's say black satin outline, or just do single run stitch outline, and you want to set it to black, and then you want to click on this. This is the run stitch tool, which will automatically be run stitch, or you can use this. If you select open shape, then you want to customize, select this. So for run stitch, and you want to click basically the same way you did for the fill. Right click, left click, right click, right click, right click, right click, left click, right click, right, right, left, right, left, enter. Ta-da! And the reason why an outline should always go over the tatami stitch, so I always save this for last, but after you finish embroidering, you should check. You should always double check. It's always good to double check. So I always like to keep mine a little bit outside of it because of pull compensation and whatnot. But it, no, not, I mean, it depends, but it just gives a better look, you know? Just has a better look to it. And yeah, that's about it. And for more advanced stuff, you can customize the spacing. So this would be the spacing, the density of the fill stitch, and you can also customize the length of the stitch while maintaining the spacing. And also you can customize. The thing that I was most confused about for the longest time were the offsets. Offsets are basically the locations of you can customize the locations of the needle penetration. So it's kind of hard for me to explain this because I'm still trying to figure it out exactly. But for example, this offset, you would, let me change the angle. So this offset, this partition line sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you count here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't explain this right now. I'll just make another video in the future. But yeah, that's basically it to digitizing. Thank you for watching. More videos, more tutorials to come. Stuff about embroidery. I'll show my embroidery machine. I'll teach you guys more stuff. I don't know. If you want to support me, check out my website at korizoo.com. Thank you.